So I painted today for the first time in over 20 years, and I cried a lot. I was really surprised at how emotional this was for a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm a mother. What's happening? I'm a mom, and I'm the mom of children on the spectrum, and I have twins. So ever since I became a mom almost 15 years ago, it's just been constant need and chaos from the kids. Shout out to my fellow parents, you get it. It's just been this all-consuming need around the clock. And so when there's time, there are no hobbies. There are no hobbies. First of all, when there's time, there's cleaning the house and finding 5 seconds of refuge in silence or in scrolling or in watching your comfort shows. That is life as a parent to special needs kids. And mine are only gently special needs. We're not even talking the intensity. I just haven't had hobbies in 15 years. Hobbies that aren't functional. Like home design. We need blankets for our beds. Let's pick a pretty one. And because I'm an entrepreneur, every spare moment in my brain, in my life, is my business, my website, my content, my clients for the past 10 years. So this was the first time. And my kids are doing great. They're doing great. But this is the first time in over 15 years that I did something just for the joy of it. I did art. I did art for the sake of art. I guess, to be fair, it is art for my bedroom. I want to update my bedroom. It serves a function. But I could have bought art. Instead, I chose to make it. And I chose to spend my Saturday evening making art. And there's another thing that got me unexpectedly emotional with this. And that is the last time I painted 20 years ago. 20 years ago exactly. Actually, maybe 21. I was in the deep, dark throes of a nervous breakdown. And I first started creating visual art at the very beginning of that breakdown because it was an outlet, an expression. My art mixed media was very chaotic and beautiful and powerful, but it wasn't, it was an expression of my pain. What's happening? Sorry. My art was an expression of my pain. It was therapy. And so it was in my recovery from the nervous breakdown. Well, was it recovery? It was mania. It was mania. I was out of the deep depression. I was in the throes of mania, and I was painting all night. I would either wake up in the middle of the night or I would lie in bed, my brain just on fire. I would wake up hearing songs. And since my family was asleep, I couldn't go play them on the piano. I had to wait till they woke up to transpose and put them on the piano. So when I couldn't do that, I painted. And the last time I painted something really beautiful, I gave it to my parents for Christmas. And they had it professionally framed and put in their dining room. And I'm glad they finally moved it a couple of years ago because it was really hard to be reminded of that time. And that's why I put away my paint. And maybe that's why I put away all art. Because it was too deeply associated with my madness. So even though I've had a really incredible mental health journey, I cured myself through healing, through opening my gifts as a psychic and as a healer. And so, even though my life is so good and so joyful, I guess there's a part of me that is locked up. It's afraid to access my art because my art came with madness. And it's interesting that as a psychic, I got the opportunity to speak to the spirits of the greatest artists of the 20th century. And so many of them were diagnosed with bipolar disorder or suspected. And as I wrote in my book, that it's an energetic pattern I have deep familiarity with. There's an intimacy that we artists have with that pattern of getting so in the flow of that art, being a vessel for that art, pouring in you, that very easily can go dark. You can lose yourself to being that open and that expressive. So I guess I didn't know until today that that part of me was still in timeout. It was still locked up. It was still not invited to the party. So I hope now, when I finish this piece that I'm working on, coming out of retirement, 20 plus years, and I look at it on my bedroom wall, I will know, unlike the piece in my parents' house, this is my victory. If that was the piece my parents' house created in my lowest of lows, this will be the piece in my highest of highs. My life has so much meaning and purpose and joy. So I just want to send this out there to you. If this resonated with you, if there's a part of you that you locked yourself away, or maybe it seems silly or frivolous to create or have joy right now while other people are suffering, it is not frivolous. It's okay to give yourself permission to create. Creativity is divine co-creation. So give yourself permission to let it flow.